What's up, YouTube? This has been an episode of how to restart an abandoned aquarium from start to finish the fastest possible way, particularly this one below, in less than 30 minutes. As you can see, I got an identical one up top that currently houses a super red bristlenose pleco. I got cucumbers and carrots inside to feed him and his other smaller friend who's currently hiding right now. Yeah, I kick-started this aquarium in less than half an hour, maybe less than 20 minutes. So I'm gonna repeat the steps of how exactly it's done on this bottom one over here, which has been sitting dry for at least the last year or two. So stay tuned. Just watching KG Tropicals doing his rant right now. I want to take a record of the current time. It's 1 o'clock right now. This is a spare of the moment video here. So I'll just show you the chaos that's inside this tank currently. I got a substrate which used to have light plants in it more than a year ago. Just turn on this Aquaneat LED light so you can see there's still like dead matter or something. Maybe there's still like bacterial organisms that's still living under the substrate. I know months ago I used to be able to see like squiggly worms that's still buried inside the substrate, which would be beneficial to fish or any microorganisms living inside. And moving on to this Aquarium 20 filter. I just removed the lid right here. This is the lid. It's got dried up media in there. I'll just take it apart. I'm gonna need to take it out and swap these out with good cycled media from my already established tank, so I could just do it one-on-one direct swap without having to wait 30 days for proper fishing or fishless cycle. So I got this foam filter plus my, that's all I had in there. Just some lava rocks and ceramic rings and bio balls in this netting bag, so it makes removal very easy. And I got this piece of foam in there to trap the larger particles of debris before the water flows. Go ahead and hit the biomedias. So, and then I got pot scrubbers underneath. So yeah, the whole idea why I put things in this water is that when water first goes through the coarse foam, it'll enter through this little channel on the bottom here, and then it'll rise up. It'll rise up at first, hitting another layer of pot scrubber foam before it rises up and hit the biomedia. So this way it'll prolong the maintenance cycle and keep the biomedia clean. And usually, and at the last stage of the filtering, I put another piece of filter floss in this pre-cut slot over here. I know aquarium sells, fancy little bacteria that's with carbon inside or some other media inside. I don't use that. I just use, here's what I use. Okay, as you can see, leftover pieces of this two-layer film. It's got a coarse layer plus a dense layer. So what I do is I just take this thing and just stick it in like this. It's kind of hard to do this one-handed, but that's it. And then I put it back. That's exactly what I do when I go to pick up my good media. I'm downstairs and getting some aquarium water into the bucket so I can dump it into the 10-gallon tank that I'm working on to try and clean out some of that old algae and all the crap that's stuck on the glass. I got it filled up with water about 3/4 of the way up, and got the aquarium glass scrubber. So go ahead and spend a few minutes clean the all these algae residues, all these crap off the glass. At least I'll try. It's pretty nasty. Alright, that didn't take long. I was surprised how easy it was to clean everything off with the glass scrubber. And I couldn't get to this part of the tank because as you can see how this outer piece will get restricted. So I had to stick my hand inside to do some manual scrubbing this way without the help of the magnet. Same thing on the opposite side. So I'm gonna draw the dirty water out and then add the clean water back in all the way to the top. Stay tuned. Just as I'm drawing the water out of the tank, I'm also lightly siphoning the surface of the substrate. Siphon tube into the substrate because that'll start to stir up even more black sand material or whatever dark matter that's trapped inside the substrate. Originally I bought the substrate from somewhere. It's for planted tank, so I imagine it has some organic matter in there. If I stick my tube in there, it's gonna suck up a lot of these dark matter, as you can see by my thumb up here. Some of that might be good to help maintain the cycle of the tank. I think there's still some living organism in the tank, as you can see from the back glass. We still have, I don't know what that's called, some kind of a snail that's still stuck on the back glass. I mean, it's amazing that organisms like that still lives after a year into this, being inside this abandoned tank. I think that's why there's some aquarists who maintain filterless tanks, and they grow plants and small fish in them without filters. So that's why I'm not surprised that there's still stuff's living inside this abandoned tank after a year. Look at how much dark matter came up. If I just push my siphon tube inside the gravel. And that's to be expected with this type of gravel, especially when you used to do planted tanks. You know, stuff will settle and plant matter will break down, fish matter will break down. So I'll be right back when I'm ready to fill it with new clean water. So as I'm filling up the bucket with clean water, I'm getting ready to swap out these old media with one of these. It's hitting inside of my 20-gallon tanks behind the HMF filter. Here's some more. There's that another bag. Down here's another bag. Trust me, it is inside. Two more bags here, right there, and then the tank above. Sorry about the glare. There's another bag right behind that foam there. Does it look from further away? There's a bag there, another bag in here, another bag in here. And these are all established media. They've been in here for months and months, so I'm pretty sure they are seeded with well-established biomedia. For example, like this bag of BioBall, it's ready to go. All I have to do is stick it in the Aquarium 20 upstairs, turn on the filter, and I should be set. I don't want to use this one because this bag is the one that came out of the other 10-gallon tank, which I just restarted 2 weeks ago. So I don't trust that this bag of media is fully seeded 100%. So, or I could use this bag. That looks like it's a pretty big bag that's been in there for like a year. So I'll go ahead and pick up this bag of well-established biomedia, which is essentially bioballs. Throw in that tank of aquarium water so no beneficial bacteria will be killed. Now stick this dirty bag or dead bag of beneficial bacteria into this tank. Seal it up so it can regain its cycle in a couple of months or 1 month time. So I just got a new power strip in here because I ran out of power receptacles on my wall. So I plugged in my light so far. And here's my bioballs. I squeezed out this pot scrubber a little bit just to get some of the dirt out. And I'll just throw it right back into where it came from. You can use new ones, or you can use ones with established biomedia already. But the only pot scrubbers like that I got would be sitting in the bottom of one of my canister filters, so that would be a major pain to open that up and just to dig out a pot scrubber. So as you can see, that's all it took. It's filled all the way to the top pretty much. And I'll get another piece of film, a brand new piece of film that can be used for mechanical filtration to stick it up there, because the one that I took out is too old and beat up. So it sounded like something was stopping the impeller from turning. So I had to open up the bottom of the Aquarium 20 impeller housing, and this is what I found. It's like a piece of netting, or it looks like a old coarse film that's stuck on there. So I'm gonna take it out, plug it in, and retry. Okay, just filled it up to the top. I mean, not quite all the way to the top, but I'll worry about that later. And after cleaning out the impeller, let me plug it back in. A moment of truth. You sound, water's coming up, water's flowing out over the filter floss. I got that strip of filter floss cut a little bit too long. That's an easy fix. Okay, I just shortened the filter floss, polishing strip to the right length. The white stuff up top, I'm not gonna worry about. It's over time, hard water, that's hard water stain. Basically calcium built up, not gonna worry about it. And let me find myself a piece of coarse film to stick it in there. So far it's filtering. I'll give it like a half an hour to an hour. All right, I went and got some more water, and I cut out an extra piece of foam that I had downstairs. Let me stick it in here for mechanical filtration. And voila, just like that. It's a perfect fit. You don't want it too big or too dense that water starts flowing through right before it enters the foam. Like right now, I have a little bit of flow through, which is not good, so push it down a little bit. This is how you can hack your hang-on back filter. You don't have to always buy the cartridge, the pre-made cartridge. They tell you to change out every month or two. No. I never change these out. I reuse them, reseat them. As you can see, the only thing you throw out are maybe, you could re-clean these mechanical filter foams. There's no reason to throw them out until they start deteriorating or they gets too bad of a shape. Then it's cheap enough to replace that. Other than that, always keep your bio rings, clean them with aquarium water and reuse them. It's that simple. So. Okay, I'll tidy up the power cord a little bit later. Gotta plug in my my heater. That's important. I got the lights. Yeah, I had to move the rack to different places. That's why these cords are not reaching now. So I'll tidy up things in a bit. Right now, I just want to plug this in so I can get this running. Another thing I could have done, especially when I fill it with tap water, which in my case, 95% of this water is filtered or cycled aquarium water, so it doesn't apply. However, this last bucket right here, I did get it from the tap. Just to show you, I use this Seacom Safe chemical powder. It removes chlorine, chloramine, and ammonia, detoxifies nitrite and nitrate. So I just got this little bit, half a bucket of water from the tap, and I want to denitrify it. Let me just show you. This is how much I would put. That's why for that little bucket over there, I've gone through hundreds of gallons of water. I've only used up that much. You can see that tiny little bit is all I use. I can either dump it in my bucket or dump it inside the tank. Regardless if you have fish in there or not, I've done it either way. Fish aren't bothered by it as long as it gets diluted right away with the flow of water. Okay, so I'm gonna dump it in. Now immediately add water on top of it. Just dump water in to help dilute those powders. Water is filled to the top. Okay, now all we have to do is wait about a half an hour or until the water clears up, and you can verify the amount of nitrate or nitrite in the water by using one of those test kits, which I stopped using years ago. They go back before I had a chance to use them again. They're only good, the expiration date is only good for like 2 or 3 years maximum. So my super red is still hiding back there. They're kind of shy. This is a male, as you can see. Clearly he's got bushes on his mouth, not only on his mouth, but on part of his nose as well. He's only 3 inches. I'm trying to feed him a lot, grow him out quicker so he could reach 4-inch size to breed with my female downstairs. I mean, I hope that's gonna work. I ordered him from a seller on eBay, and I can't find any sellers who would sell any size bigger than this, more than 3 inches. I want to say that when I received him, he's like barely 3 inches, if at all. He might be a little bit short, but then the seller included another like 1 incher. I don't know where that one went. Oh, right there. There's that 1 incher that came with a 3 incher. So I gave him a good review. He gave me an extra fish, which is exactly what I would do with the African cichlids that I sell. I always try to sell at least the size that I promise, and I always give 1 or 2 fish extra in case you guys ever want to buy fish from me. Just keep that in mind. So as you can see, how much water has already been clearing up. In a little while to tidy up my power cords and everything. I'll come back in a little while to give you a final update. So now I'm ready to add these fish in my 10-gallon newly restarted aquarium that's still clearing up. Still a bit cloudy, but I'm perfectly sure that the water that I have in there is perfectly cycled. As you can see, the temperature gauge that's picking up, it's right around 80-some degrees, more than warm enough. So as I add them in, I'm just going to show you some of these beautiful fish that I have. If you'll cooperate, this is my albino strawberry. It's got the fluorescent, blue fluorescent color. He's bred tons and tons of nice OBs for me. Almost on the clock every month. Add him in. Got some dragon bloods. Dragon blood. This is in ruby red F1. Just starting to get his color. He's only going to be more and more beautiful. Catch this beautiful strawberry dragon blood specimen. OB. It's called a platinum OB variety that I just recently started. As you can see, I just threw them in. They're taking a little bit of time to adjust to the new water environment. And I'll come back with the final update. As you can see, time is just past 1:35, just a little bit more than a half an hour. The fish are added, they're chilling. I turn off the light, give them a chance to calm down a little bit. Chance to relax. There you go, it's turned out pretty good. If I were to tell you I started this, restarting this abandoned aquarium from beginning to finish in about half an hour, you probably wouldn't have believed me. But it's not 100% cleared up yet because it still has a fair amount of that loose soot-like material on the surface. And in the meantime, I've gone in and I've actually siphoned some more, and I actually changed out the filter flaws at the outlet a couple of times to help take out that black material in there. But so far I'm pretty happy with it. As you can see, compared to this tank up top, this tank is definitely more clear yet. So hope you got something out of it. In the future, I might want to swap out these African peacocks into the upper tank and bring down the super red Personos plecos. He's still hiding behind the intake tube. Bring them down, pretty much just swap the fish between the two tanks, because the bottom tank still has a lot of organic material from breakdowns of the fish and plant material that used to be in there, and the substrate is for planted aquarium, so in the long run would offer a softer water that'd be better for the plecos, whereas the substrate in this upper tank consists of crushed coral, which will enable a higher pH that's much more suitable for African cichlids. So let me know below if you think that's what I should do. And that'll do it for this video. This has been an episode of how to restart an abandoned aquarium from start to finish the fastest possible way. Take care, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to comment below. Like or subscribe would be appreciated.